Hopefully my next video I'm not in a body cast. It's Olivia and welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, Happy New Year! I hope you guys are all having an awesome start to your 2022. In this week's video, I'm gonna be talking about like New Year's resolutions and just how to hopefully live your best life this year. So I'm actually not one to usually set New Year's resolutions. I mean, I have kind of in the past, but they've never really been serious and I've never really stuck to them at all. And that's actually why I don't like setting them, because it puts stress on you, and then if you don't meet them, I feel like it makes you feel bad and like you failed. So that's why I really don't like setting them. But this year I thought I would kind of make a loose mental health goal. So my mental health goal for 2022 is to live in the present. My whole entire life I've been super bad at living in the present. I'm either living in the past or living in the future, and when you live in the past you get depressed, and when you live in the future you get anxious, because when you're living in the past your brain loves to only remember the good memories, none of the bad. So you're reminiscing about things that you maybe no longer have or no longer can do, and you get depressed. And then when you're looking to the future, you're putting extreme pressure on yourself to try to do what you need to do to get there, or you're sad because maybe you're not where you want to be yet, and so you just kind of miss out on living in the present. And it's a gift, which is why it's called the present. And I've never been able to do that, so I'm gonna try really hard this year. So I thought I would go over 5 kind of loose tips on how to maybe help me and you, if you want to do this as well, live in the present more this year. Before I jump into the 5 tips, I'd just like to thank the sponsor for today's video, which is BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online therapy company, which is super awesome for autistic people. I feel like especially because we can be really nervous about getting in cars and driving places. So with BetterHelp, you can do all your therapy needs right from the comfort of your home, which home is usually the favorite place for an autistic person. Now, I've said this before, but I really believe working with a therapist is the best way to keep your mental health healthy and good. I've worked with many therapists throughout my life, starting at the age of 14, and they've really helped me become the person that I am today. Working with a traditional therapist is awesome, but oftentimes, and maybe you've experienced this, I know I have, trying to find one in your area can be super challenging and just downright irritating, because you can't find one that you match with, and it can sometimes take you weeks or even months to even get an appointment with them. But if you choose to do the online route with BetterHelp, they will actually assess you and match you with the licensed therapist that best fits your needs, which is super awesome. They have over 20,000 licensed therapists for you to be matched with. Once you're matched, you can start communicating with your therapist in only 48 hours. BetterHelp is available worldwide, and it's less expensive than traditional therapy, and they even offer financial aid because they really truly want you to start living your happiest and best life. I will put a link down below on how to sign up for BetterHelp and a coupon to receive 10% off. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this awesome video. So now finally, let's jump into those 5 tips. Tip number 1 on how to try to live in the present. Write down all the things that you're thankful for and all the blessings you have, not what you want. Obviously, like I mentioned, when you're trying to live in the future, you're thinking about, oh, well, I don't have this job, or I don't have this amount of money, I don't have this dream house or dream car or whatever, and that makes you anxious and just kind of like unappreciative for what you have today, because there's always something you can be thankful for, and there's always people who are praying to have what you already have. So write down every day, every week, every month, whatever feels best for you, what you're thankful for and what blessings God has already blessed you with, and make sure that you're appreciative and thankful for those things. Tip number 2, if you're going to set goals, make sure you set small, attainable goals for more the near future, not the far off future. So don't be like, I'm gonna buy a house for sure in the next year or something, because that puts a lot of pressure on you. But if you set a goal like, hey, I'm gonna take 2 walks this week, that's a small goal that's attainable in the near future that you can achieve and be successful at. And it's not a goal that you have to, put pressure on yourself, and it won't make you anxious. And make sure that if you achieve those goals, make sure you give yourself a pat on the back and congratulate yourself, because I definitely never give myself any props or any credit at the things that I've accomplished. I'm always like, well, I can do something more, I can do something better. So this year I'm also going to try to just give myself some credit where credit is due. So make sure you do that too. Tip number 3, leave behind things that don't benefit you. And this means jobs, relationships, hobbies, whatever it may be. Don't hang on to things that, that you liked in the past. If you have a relationship, and this doesn't have to be, a romantic relationship, but, a friendship, even a relationship with your family member, that in the past was good, but if it's not good for your mental health right now, then leave it behind. There's nothing wrong with cutting ties with people that don't benefit you mentally. Everybody walks into your life for a reason. Some people stay and some people continue and walk out, and that's okay. You can celebrate the friendship that you used to have, but if it's no longer benefiting you, cut it off and don't feel guilty about it. You need to prioritize you and your mental health. And this goes for jobs too. Maybe you used to love your job, but if you don't love it anymore and you can move on to something better, do it. Hobbies as well. Like I used to love football. It was my special interest. Now it doesn't make me as happy for some reasons, and I've tried to latch onto it and be like, I don't want to let you go, but maybe it's time that I more let it go and move on to something that makes me happier now. Tip number 4, go and start something you've always wanted to do, whether that's a job, whether that's a hobby, whatever it may be. Go and do it right now in the present. Don't think about it in the future like, well, I want to start doing this, I want to start doing that. There's never a perfect time, and you never know what's going to happen. You might not be able to do what you want to do in another week or month or year. So go do it right now. Do what makes you happy. Start right now. Don't wait. For me, I want to start rollerblading, which my mom was very not happy about. So hopefully I don't get hurt, but that's something that I've wanted to do. So I've decided I'm going to buy a pair of rollerblades and just start doing it. So hopefully my next video, I'm not in a body cast. Tip number 5 on how to live in the present this year is to love yourself. And for me, it's going to be loving myself, owning my autism. You guys own your autism, love your autism, be proud of your autism. I'm proud of myself and my autism. And I feel like when we're trying to, fit in or do better, we're looking towards the future on how we can start to fit in, oh, well, when I get to high school or a new job or whatever it may be, this is how I'm going to fit in. Don't do that. Love yourself right now as who you are. Obviously, you can continue to grow and become a better person. That's of course always something we should be doing, and it's amazing to do, but make sure you love yourself as you are right now. It doesn't mean you have to stay where you are, but just make sure you appreciate yourself as you are and be proud of yourself, because I'm sure you've come a long way. A bonus tip on how to live in the present and not in the past is don't dwell on things that you can't change. I know I'm constantly going back in time and being like, I wish I could have done that differently, or I wish I could have changed that or said this instead of that. Don't do it. You can't change it. You can't go back in time, so let that go. So those are 5 tips plus a bonus on hopefully how to have a better mental health year and live in the present. I know this year I'm going to try to do that and try to continue to bring awareness to ASD and specifically females on the spectrum, and hopefully you guys will do that too and just show people how awesome autism can be. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed 2022, and I will see you soon on another episode. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.